But if you're a team that's set up to make a run in the postseason, and the only problem is the quarterback's hurt, but he's coming back, that's one thing. You have one of the worst defenses in the NFL. Tonight, there's no Trey Hendrickson. There's no T. Higgins. You're a 7-point dog. You're going to lose this game, and when you do, you're going to be 3-9. We're talking about Kansas City and whether or not they can get in the playoffs. They're 3 games clear of Cincinnati.
Right.
So you might have a shot, but if you win tonight, are you going to beat Baltimore again in 2 weeks? It's unlikely you're going to take them out twice.
If you win tonight, why couldn't you beat Baltimore? I don't like their chances tonight.
Right, I hear you.
Okay, but they have a chance to win tonight, and they got Joe Burrow back, so they believe they're going to win tonight.
So I think
even with Burrow, you just saw it on the graphic, though. Even with him historically, you don't win because it's never been about Burrow. It's about everything else.
That's right. If Burrow could play safety and linebacker, they would have a better chance tonight. He can't do that. The only answer I can give, because I've had the same thought as you, and I've been waiting for someone up here to bring this up. Because it's obviously something a lot of fans are thinking.
Yeah.
Why in the world is he coming back to play? He's so beat up. He gets hurt every single year, it seems. You know, they feel like they have no chance to do anything meaningful this year, even if they somehow win the division at 9-8, which is next to impossible to believe. They're not winning a championship. The only answer I can give to it is he's a football player, and football players play football. That's really the only answer I can think of.
And initially, I had the same exact thought process as Joe when I saw that, because you look at the Bengals team and you're like, with or without Joe Burrow, doesn't matter. They were putting up 30 points a game with Flacco out there at one point. But then you really start to think about it, the career of an NFL player. You only get a finite amount of years. Within those years, there's only a certain amount of games. For Joe Burrow, you're also not only trying to win the division, win the game, win a Super Bowl, but you're also your own legacy that you're putting out there. And the only way to talk about legacy and be a good player, you got to be out there producing. So I think for him, yes, there's the teammate component of it, of wanting to be out there with your guys. But then the other side of it is you grew up playing football as a peewee player because you love the game and you want to be out there competing.
So I totally get why he would want to play. I guess, D-Wood, the question would be, if that decision were going to come, it would not come from him. You would never expect it. You don't get to be Joe Burrow by saying, I don't want to play.
Right.
It would have to come from someone above. If you were that someone above, how would you be approaching this?
Listen, you want all your guys out there playing. Now, the thing I was surprised about was you said last week Joe Burrow wanted to play, and Zach Taylor was like, no. Usually, a guy of Joe Burrow's stature, you as a coach, I don't care who it is, coach, whatever, you tend to lean on the players like, okay, if you feel good enough to play, then you're going to go out there and play because that's what players do. So, listen, if Joe Burrow's healthy, it doesn't matter. He's going to play. Like, that's the bottom line. We don't, like, as players, the worst place to be is injured. You don't feel a part of the team. So now that he's back healthy,
hey,
that's the deal.
Bengals don't win, if the Bengals get mathematically eliminated, you want to have that conversation that Joe Burrow should be resting, I agree with you there. But as long as they have some sort of chance, not great, but some sort of chance of keeping their season alive, I want the guy out there.
I want to even push back on that. Even when you're mathematically eliminated,
he's going to want to play.
He's going to want to play.
I understand.
That's what players do.
There are going to be players across the league, maybe not quite of his stature, but players across the league that continue playing when their team is mathematically eliminated. All that said, I totally get the way you see it. Most of me leans that way also, and so I'm glad that it came up. I've been waiting all week for something.
Ruled out of a game in which the center of Dallas's defensive line suddenly has become a force with Quinnen Williams, who they acquired from the Jets. The Dallas defense in the 2 games that Williams has played has been markedly improved, dramatically different, and today they will take on a Chiefs offense missing their best offensive lineman.
Which is critical. And D-Wood and I were talking about this in the production meeting this morning. Head-to-head with Quinnen Williams, the new acquisition. So keep an eye on the interior of that defense. Now, our buddy Rex Ryan has been screaming and yelling for the Chiefs, please run the ball, please run the ball, please run the ball. Last week they ran the ball and it was effective. With the absence now of their guard, how much do you think that this game is about the Chiefs running it? They're going to get Pacheco back as well, I think, today.
Yep.
And how much of this game is about Mahomes just airing it out?
Listen, at the end of the day, it's still going to come down to Mahomes, but I do think they still need to be committed to running the football because you got to keep a defense honest. Last thing you want is your team to become one-dimensional and these guys start pinning their ears back because ultimately in that defense, that's what they want to do. All defense linemen want to rush the passer. So Andy Reid and company has to still be committed to running the football.
I definitely think it comes down to that. But what you started off with, where you said, I know it's all about Patrick Mahomes. That's what it's about. And Patrick Mahomes playing in Dallas, a Texas kid, coming home of such. That's what we're going to be watching for. Yes, we want to see if Querim Hunt, Isaiah Pacheco, can they pick up 4 or 5 yards of carry? The hell with all of that. I want to see Patrick Mahomes, when he gets a guy open, complete that pass, him running around. Go ahead, Shep.
Here's my question for you. As a former player, does it mean more to you when you're going back to your home area?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
And does it mean more to you if you're going back to your home area and you're playing in Jerry's World on Thanksgiving Day?
Oh, it means everything, especially when you've been paid as much as Mahomes has. Now, when you got the 70 ticket requests you can actually afford for all the fans. When you're playing back, you're on that rookie contract, you're like, you have to buy your own ticket.
That's why we start off the show and we were talking about Dak Prescott.
Yeah.
Because think about it, Patrick Mahomes from the Dallas area. Yeah. He's going to want to show out.
Oh, yeah.
Well, guess what? If you're Dak Prescott, you don't want the opposition to come into your house and show out. So I think that's why I think you made the initial statement like, this could be like a legacy type of game for Dak Prescott going head-to-head against Patrick Mahomes.
No doubt about it, because when you talk about those two quarterbacks and you mention their names, right away we think about Patrick Mahomes in this light of potential greatest of all time. When we look at Dak Prescott, we're like, all right, Dak's a good quarterback, but he falls short at some moment. To have this game today and have so many people watching, those two guys go at it, it's going to be so much fun to see who comes out on top.
And we were just talking about the importance of the game to the Packers and the Lions and how the loser will be on the outside looking in. Well, if Dallas loses today, it's 5-6-1. Done.
Their chance of making the playoffs is 4%.
Okay. And if the Chiefs lose today, they're 6-6.
That's the big one.
And they're not going to win the division. Now, again, I have confidence in that team being able to go on the road in the playoffs and win 3 road games. And Mahomes joins Brady and Rodgers
he fits
as one of those guys. But if they lose today, that's their path.
Absolutely.
But that's the crazy thing. We keep talking about them as, like, they're not in the playoffs right now. So to your point, they lose this game. We keep talking about them as a wild card. They still have to get in.
2 things are true about the Chiefs. 1, if the season ended today, they would not be in the playoffs. 2, they remain the betting favorites to win the AFC. Can we put that graphic up, please?
Unbelievable.
Joe Fortenbaugh, my betting expert. Can you explain this? The Kansas City Chiefs at 6-5 are the betting favorite to win the AFC.
2 factors. Factor number 1, it all comes down to liability. They're a 6-5 team. They're 9-1 to win the Super Bowl, right? Let's look at another 6-5 team, Tampa Bay. 35-1 to win the Super Bowl. Open up your own sportsbook. Greenberg Palace will all come in. You hang Kansas City 35-1. The amount of bets you're going to take will sink your enterprise with a price like that. So that's number 1, liability. Number 2, Kansas City's not that bad. They're one of only 5 teams that ranks in the top 10 in both offensive scoring and defensive scoring. The other 4, Patriots, Rams, Seahawks, and
probably
Colts.
Okay.
Colts. All good teams. You're right in that
record.
category. But the one difference this year, the one-score games. When it used to go their way, we thought of them as a dynasty. They couldn't be stopped. This year, they're just not winning the one-score games. Games like that Denver game last year with the blocked field goal at the end. That's just remembered as a win. That stuff is not sustainable over the course of a large.
It's an interesting point because before last week's game on Sunday NFL Countdown, we put up a graphic that showed that all of the Chiefs' measurables are better this year than last year.
They're great.
When they went 15-1 in games they tried to win. They didn't bother trying to. I mean, they didn't need the last one, so they didn't play anybody. But all of their numbers, they're scoring more points, they're allowing fewer, they have more yards, but they're not winning the games. Joe, I hate this. By the way, as one who would like to see the Cowboys win to keep it interesting, this does not make me feel good at all. Why do you like the Chiefs here?
Well, a couple things. It's Thanksgiving, so it's about family, turkey, and betting against the Dallas